On May 1, 2023, an incredible miracle story unfolded before the eyes of the public. In the midst of a plane crash disaster, only 4 children miraculously survived, ranging in age from 13 years old to just 11 months. Stranded and isolated, these children had to confront the rarely treaded and perilous terrain of the tropical rainforest, embarking on a journey that would severely test their survival skills. Over a harrowing period of 40 days, these 4 children endured the unimaginable, achieving a miraculous feat unprecedented in history. The President of Colombia also expressed admiration for this miracle, stating that these children had created a survival paradigm that would be recorded in the annals of history. Looking back to the months leading up to this miracle, let's traverse through time to revisit the beginning and development of this story. What hardships did the children experience to miraculously survive? During this period, what trials and challenges did they undergo? This is an incredibly moving and profound miracle story that merits our in-depth understanding. The Amazon rainforest, an expansive green sea situated in the Amazon basin of South America, spans 8 countries and covers approximately 5 million square kilometers. This tropical rainforest occupies nearly half of the world's total rainforest area and 21% of the global forest area, making it the largest and most diverse tropical rainforest on Earth. However, the Amazon rainforest is not merely a gathering of trees, it is the home to numerous wild creatures who are the true inhabitants of this lush green expanse. For humans suddenly entering, the area is filled with unknowns and dangers, as wild animals may launch attacks without hesitation, turning entering the rainforest into a perilous adventure. Today, our story unfolds in the Colombian region of the Amazon rainforest. Magdalena is an indigenous member of the Witoto tribe in Colombia, a 33-year-old mother who cares for her 4 children, 13-year-old Leslie, 9-year-old Solini, 4-year-old Tien, and the youngest, 11-month-old Kristen. Under the care of their parents and grandparents, these 4 children lead the most primitive and symbiotic lifestyle with the forest, following the traditional practices of cultivation and hunting that the Witoto tribe has adhered to, fostering an intimate connection with the jungle. However, on May 1, 2023, Magdalena made a decision that would change the lives of her family. She, along with her 4 children, boarded a Cessna 206 light aircraft, departing from the Alaralaquala village and heading to San Jose de Guaviare City, where her husband resided. The Cessna 206 light aircraft, known for its outstanding performance and sturdy structure, earned the nickname Airborne SUV. Despite its smaller size, it accommodated 7 people, including the pilot Hernando Murcia Morales, Magdalena, her 4 children, and a local indigenous person. The planned journey was only 360 kilometers, and even with the slower pace of a small aircraft, the entire visual flight shouldn't have taken too long. However, the unexpected occurred at 6:42 a.m., just half an hour into the flight, as the engine experienced a problem. Pilot Hernando promptly called for help, attempting to locate the nearest airport for an emergency landing. However, at 7:32 a.m., the miraculous disappearance of the aircraft malfunction occurred. With only 220 kilometers remaining to the destination, Hernando decided to ascend once again to 8,500 feet, attempting to continue the flight towards the goal. Nevertheless, at 7:43 a.m., the engine malfunction resurfaced. Hernando called for help again, indicating that the plane was flying along a river on the right side. However, the radio communication was abruptly cut off, and the aircraft vanished from the radar, losing all contact with the outside world. Colombia immediately organized a search and rescue team. However, due to the vastness of the Amazon rainforest and the unknown exact location of the plane crash, the search became extremely challenging. Despite efforts to focus on the forests and rivers near the last known message from the aircraft, the search yielded no results. After several days and hundreds of people involved in the search, no progress was made, and hope began to dwindle. Given the low survival probability after a plane crash, especially with 4 children on board, and the presence of fierce animals such as jaguars and venomous snakes in the Amazon rainforest, the situation became increasingly bleak. Despite facing significant challenges, the rescue operation did not cease. More military personnel joined the rainforest search, and local indigenous people familiar with the area volunteered to participate. After 2 weeks of searching, the wreckage of the plane was finally discovered near the border with Ecuador in Cacatasurano. The plane was nose down, with severe damage to the wings, and the engine was thrown 7.5 meters away from the fuselage. 3 fatalities were found on board, including the pilot Hernando, Magdalena, and 1 indigenous person. Surprisingly, there were no traces of the 4 children. Search and rescue teams initially speculated whether they might have been taken by nearby wild animals, but this theory was debunked. The lack of animal tracks at the crash site, combined with the intact bodies of the 3 adults, ruled out the possibility of a wild animal attack. Further investigation revealed small footprints, partially eaten wild fruits, and an empty baby bottle nearby, indicating that the children might have survived after the crash. Colombia intensified its rescue efforts, deploying more personnel to the rainforest. Helicopters were used to airdrop flyers providing survival tips, as well as supplies like food. On May 17, a joint search team named Operation Hope was established, consisting of military personnel, indigenous people, and over 150 soldiers and 200 volunteers, including 73 indigenous individuals. The children's father and 10 search dogs also joined the effort. Overcoming various challenges, the search team conducted daytime searches in the dense forest and rested directly in the rainforest at night, with many soldiers carrying firearms to prevent potential animal attacks. Fortunately, the search team quickly discovered a pair of scissors and a hairband, clearly belonging to the 4 children. Nearby, they also found a makeshift shelter constructed from branches. While these findings were uplifting, in the subsequent days, the search team was unable to uncover any further clues. As the search yielded no results for over 10 consecutive days, morale began to decline. Nightfall brought mosquito bites and the disturbance of unfamiliar animals, challenges even difficult for adults to endure, let alone children who were already facing water and food shortages. However, just when everyone thought the 4 children might have perished, and Operation Hope seemed to have failed entirely, with some volunteers even giving up, and the command center disassembled, a new discovery reignited people's hope. This time, it was the finding of a child's footprint that once again captured the attention of the search team. These small footprints confirmed that the children were still in the rainforest, providing the rescue team with a renewed sense of purpose and motivation. Footprints appeared approximately 3.2 kilometers northwest of the plane crash site. Despite the relatively short distance, the search team faced the challenging terrain of towering trees and intricate landscapes in the rainforest, making progress extremely difficult. Upon this discovery, the rescue team immediately deployed search dogs to trace the children's footsteps. Simultaneously, other team members initiated a search centered around the footprints. Despite the seemingly fresh footprints, indicating that the children hadn't been away for too long, rescue personnel strangely couldn't locate them. A week passed, and the children's whereabouts remained unknown, raising suspicions that wild animals might have harmed them. However, some believed the children were still on the move, as if they had already perished, the rescue team would have found them by now. The search team leader likened the task of finding these children to searching for constantly jumping fleas on a massive carpet due to their constant movement, presenting an immense challenge. However, after 40 days, around 4 p.m. local time on June 9th, the rescue team suddenly transmitted an exciting message over the radio, shouting "Miracle" 4 times, informing everyone that survivors had been found. After enduring a challenging 40-day struggle for survival in the rainforest, the 4 children were found, covered in insect bites, deprived of food and water, and on the brink of weakness. Upon discovery, the rescue team promptly provided warmth, replenished fluids, and offered food. Subsequently, they urgently contacted a helicopter to transport the children to the hospital. This miraculous survival sparked nationwide celebration in Colombia. President Gustavo Petro remarked that the 4 children had created a miracle of survival, stating, "It was the jungle that saved them. They are children of the jungle, and now they are also children of Colombia," referring to them as a source of national pride. The children's grandfather, Narciso Mucatai, expressed gratitude to everyone involved in the rescue, acknowledging that the word "thank you" couldn't adequately convey his appreciation. The entire rescue process consumed significant manpower and resources. A 350-member search team covered over 2,600 kilometers in the Amazon rainforest, taking a full 40 days to locate the children. People are deeply moved by the survival journey of these 4 children in extreme conditions, wondering how they overcame various challenges to ultimately achieve this miraculous survival. The children's grandfather revealed that despite their young age, they had been learning hunting, fishing, and gathering since childhood, becoming quite familiar with the surrounding forest. In particular, 13-year-old Leslie and 9-year-old Solini had been living with their family in the forest, receiving traditional skills education and frequently participating in survival games. These games involved finding shelters in the rainforest, locating water sources, identifying nutritious wild fruits, and distinguishing poisonous fruits, an invaluable experience that became key to overcoming various challenges in the rainforest. The eldest child, 13-year-old Leslie, was acclaimed as the leader of this survival miracle. He not only led his 3 sisters, caring for them, but also successfully endured the arduous 40 days. After the plane crash, they discovered that all 3 adults had perished, while 11-month-old Kristen remained unharmed in their mother's arms. Without hesitation, Leslie took charge, lifting his sisters and using a baby bottle for feeding. Although they couldn't comprehend how to handle the situation at the time and could only wait by the plane, 4 days passed with no one coming to their rescue. After consuming 1.36 kilograms of yucca flour, they decided to leave the crash site, attempting to navigate their way out of the rainforest. Leslie showcased his skills in finding wild fruits and understanding how to locate water sources and leaves, enabling them to navigate blindly in the rainforest. Despite hearing the passing sounds of rescue helicopters multiple times, they chose not to reveal themselves due to fear of local armed drug traffickers. Even when the rescue team approached them, the children, mistaking them for dangerous traffickers, remained silent. In the absence of water and scarce food, the children's stamina gradually diminished, forcing them to halt their journey and rest in the makeshift shelter they had constructed. They found some wild fruits, though not palatable, providing some energy. Fortunately, they stumbled upon an emergency rescue package airdropped by a helicopter, once again extending their survival time. However, the rescue team had been very close to them before, but the children's misunderstanding led to a missed rescue opportunity. One day, a search dog named Wilson suddenly appeared, accompanying the children for a while and eventually leading the rescue team to them. When the rescuers found the children, they were sitting in a clearing in the rainforest, barefoot, in an extremely exhausted, sleep-deprived, and malnourished state, almost unable to walk, pushed to the brink. Rescuers stated that if another day had passed, they might not have survived. When the children saw the rescue personnel, 13-year-old Leslie expressed his immediate need. "I'm hungry, I want to eat something." 4-year-old Alvaro cried, saying, "My mom died." After being swiftly transported to the hospital for treatment, the 4 children recovered quickly. The President and First Lady of Colombia personally visited the hospital to inquire about their well-being. During their treatment, the children created artworks, one of which depicted the scenario of the search dog Wilson finding them in the jungle. Wilson's appearance became a rescue clue, but the search dog went missing after locating the children, and despite efforts, the rescue team was unable to find him. Although the children endured a challenging survival journey, their story did not conclude there. The children's family became entangled in conflicts involving multiple marriages and family disputes, with custody issues causing contradictions within government departments. The grandparents hoped to obtain custody to provide the best care and education. The government emphasized the importance of providing the children with the best treatment, especially in the psychological aspect, as they had lost their mother and undergone 40 days of extreme hardship, with the shattered family affecting their mental well-being. Different statements emerged regarding the aftermath of the plane crash. Manuel claimed that the children's mother survived for 4 days after the incident, providing them with encouragement. On the other hand, the grandfather stated that the children woke up to find their mother already deceased, leaving the plane 4 days later. Although this event still leaves many unanswered questions, there is no denying that the miraculous survival of these 4 children has profoundly impacted people's faith and perseverance and hope. Their resilience, leadership, and survival skills demonstrated in an extreme environment make this story exceptionally poignant. It conveys an important message: even in the face of the most extreme adversity, we can find strength and courage. It inspires us to seek the value of life and the power of perseverance in challenging circumstances. That concludes this miraculous story from the Amazon, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this event. Feel free to leave your comments for further discussion. See you next time.